Lao Tzu taught, act without doing, work without effort. This has also been translated, act without action, do without ado. This is a perfect description of one of the most famous Taoists of all time, Winnie the Pooh. For those of you who are not familiar with Winnie the Pooh, he is a lovable, simple-minded bear who figures in the classic children's stories written by A.A. Milne, who is one of a cast of animal characters who live in the fantasy world of Christopher Robin. Author Benjamin Hough has written a book called The Tao of Pooh. He writes, when we learn to work with our own inner nature and with the natural laws operating around us, we reach the level of Wu Wei. Then we work with the natural order of things and operate on the principle of minimal effort. Since the natural world follows that principle, it does not make many mistakes. Mistakes are made or imagined by man, the creature with the overloaded brain who separates himself from the supporting network of natural laws by interfering and just simply trying too hard. Not like Pooh, the most effortless bear we've ever seen. Hough records a dialogue he had with Pooh himself on this subject. Just how do you do it, Pooh? I asked. Do what? Asked Pooh. Become so effortless, I said. I don't do much of anything, he said. But all those things of yours get done. They just sort of happen, he said. Wait a minute. That reminds me of something from the Tao Te Ching, I said, reaching for a book. Here it is, chapter 37. Translated, it reads something like, Tao does not do, but nothing is not done. That sounds like a riddle, said Pooh. It means that Tao doesn't force or interfere with things, but lets them work in their own way to produce results naturally. Then whatever needs to be done is done. I see, said Pooh. I explained. In Chinese, the principle would be Wei Wu Wei, do without doing. From Wei Wu Wei comes the phrase self-so. That means that things happen by themselves, spontaneously. Oh, I see, said Pooh. Hough continues. If you're getting more and more angry about all of this denial of doing anything, hang on. For a basic example of the Pooh way, let's recall something that happened in the book, The House at Pooh Corner, when Pooh, Piglet, Rabbit, and Roo were playing Pooh sticks. They dropped their sticks off the bridge into the river and had gone to the other side to see whose stick would come out first. And they'd been waiting quite a while when out floated Eeyore the donkey. I didn't know you were playing, said Roo, the kangaroo. I'm not, said Eeyore. Eeyore, what are you doing there, said Rabbit. Eeyore replied, I'll give you 3 guesses, Rabbit. Digging holes in the ground? Wrong. Leaping from branch to branch of a young oak tree? Wrong. Waiting for somebody to help me out of the river? Right. Give Rabbit time and he'll get the answer. Then Pooh got an idea. They could drop some stones into the river. The stones would make waves, and the waves would wash Eeyore over to the riverbank. Rabbit thought it was a good idea. Eeyore didn't. Supposing we hit him by mistake, said Piglet anxiously. Or supposing you missed him by mistake, said Eeyore. Think of all the possibilities, Piglet, before you settle down to enjoy yourselves. But Pooh had got the biggest stone he could carry and was leaning over the bridge, holding it in his paws. "I'm not throwing it, I'm dropping it, Eeyore," he explained. "And then I can't miss. I can't hit you." "Could you stop turning round for a moment, because it muddles me rather?" "No," said Eeyore, "I like turning round." Rabbit began to feel that it was time he took command. "Now, Pooh," he said, "when I say now, you can drop it. Are you ready, Pooh? Piglet, give Pooh a little more room. Get back a bit there, Roo." "Now," said Rabbit. Pooh dropped his stone. There was a loud splash, and Eeyore disappeared. It was an anxious moment for the watchers on the bridge. They looked, and then, just as Pooh was beginning to think that he must have chosen the wrong stone or the wrong river or the wrong day for his idea, something gray showed for a moment by the river bank, and it got slowly bigger and bigger, and at last it was Eeyore coming out. With a shout, they rushed off the bridge and pushed and pulled at him, and soon he was standing among them again on dry land. "Oh, Eeyore, you are wet," said Piglet, feeling him. Eeyore shook himself and asked somebody to explain to Piglet what happened when you had been inside a river for quite a long time. "Well done, Pooh," said Rabbit kindly. "That was a good idea of ours.